I talked to Ella Carr a lot. We we were we became good friends, and she seemed to understand me, and she seemed to understand me, and she seemed to be a good friend. I I started getting closer as friends when we went on that spiritual trip to see that guru during the summer. Afterwards, I talked to her once in a while on the phone. I She was one of the few people that I talked to her about my personal issues and struggles, and she was really helpful. She always made me feel better immediately. She gave me some helpful advice. One time she gave me Reiki and saw a vision of a lotus flower, and she said, "Whatever you're trying to achieve, don't hold back. Just go for it." She gave me a tiger iron. It was a ball that looked like it was made out of marble. It was beautiful. It symbolized confidence and strength. She told me, whenever I try to talk to people and feel nervous, put my hand on the ball. It will make me feel more confident. I kept it in my car and often brought it with me to clubs. I felt like it was a good tool to help me be more confident. I learned other tools that helped me let go of fear and be more confident. I learned that focus on the fact that I am connected often helped. Focus on the fact that I was connected kind of brought me peace. And it made me feel like that I wasn't really lacking much. That any kind of lack is really an illusion. And that kind of gave me a sort of peaceful reassurance. I learned a lot. I started going on road trips. One time I went on a road trip this year during the summer, and I tried to and understood the fact that I was connected. And I looked at all the trees and realized I was part of the trees. And I looked at the sky and realized I was part of that and the planet. And it was a really fantastic feeling. I even started connecting to the music that I listened to, and that felt really good too. I learned a lot of stuff that helped me spiritually grow this year. I became a Reiki 2 practitioner. I found that Reiki really helped me in many ways. First, it helped give me wisdom when I'm stuck. Secondly, it helped put me in the right state when I was during times when I felt stressed. I also learned that everything is supposed to be enjoyable, and any kind of pain and suffering is only a faulty belief. So whenever I was stressful, such as like if I felt upset that I wasn't really had a hard time talking with women, I understood that, if I never do, at least I could still be happy. A lot of times I was sad, but that was a good reminder and it helped me feel better. The faulty belief of knowing that we are separate from God and that everything is disconnected and driven. I realized that the faulty belief comes from knowing that we are all separate from God and that everything is, and believing that everything is separate, and that is driven by fear. I learned that everything in the universe is infinitely amazing in its own unique way and truth. The more we let go of judgment and unacceptance, the more we see that everything is amazing in its own unique way. I, however, had certain struggles when it came to learning more spiritual wisdom, making sense of it. I had trouble connecting all the spiritual ideas that I've learned so far and combining it all together in one central idea to just focus on at all times. It was like I had to focus on one thing at one time, focus on one thing at another. And I wish I could just focus on everything all at once, but I couldn't. I felt like my mind wasn't really able to do that in a way. I also had trouble figuring out why serving others will help you awaken. That idea still kind of confused me. I knew that serving helps you awaken because you're connected and you're expressing love, but that wasn't really enough. That really gave me a clear understanding, and it didn't really give me enough motivation to want to serve. I would eventually find out. I knew I would eventually find out the answers, though. I knew I'd eventually find out the answers though if I just tried to pray to God and try to just be quiet in my mind and just focus on the energy. I I eventually found out the answers. I also eventually found out some answers though when I sent a lot of people Reiki to help spread love and help others waken. I would send Reiki to people whenever they're having struggle. I sent Reiki to I still talk to Nikki once in a while. And sometimes she was having a hard time sometimes with getting along with her family, and she would talk to me about it, and I would sometimes feel bad. I often sent her Reiki to try to make her feel better, and I think it did help. I also sent Reiki to my friend Dave Boucher because he told me sometimes he gets stressed sometimes, so I sent him Reiki. He recently broke up with one of his girlfriends. I also sent Reiki. I also decided to send Reiki to the entire planet sometimes, and I felt like that good energy to help heal. I felt like that was a good way to help heal the planet as a whole and help global issues. Overall, I was really happy about this year. I started feeling more confident about life with what all happened. I was excited to see what would happen next.